What if history didn't play out the way we know it? That's the allure of alternate history TV shows. From wars with different winners to tiny shifts that change everything, these shows mash up real events with bold, imaginative twists. So in this video, we're spotlighting some of the best alternate history series that rewrote the past and built unforgettable what-if worlds on the small screen. Sliders. When it comes to alternate history on TV, few shows went as big or as weird as Sliders. The premise was simple but brilliant. A group of travelers slide between parallel Earths, each one with a twist on history. One world might have been conquered by the Soviets, another could be ruled by giant intelligent snakes. At its best, the show was clever and satirical. At its messiest, it was, well, the late 90s doing sci-fi. But even with cast shakeups and uneven writing, Sliders earned cult status by giving us endless spins on history gone sideways. Counterpart. Counterpart is what happens when Cold War paranoia meets multiverse drama. J.K. Simmons stars as Howard Silk, a meek office drone who discovers his agency is actually guarding a portal to a parallel Earth. On the other side, a near-identical world where history took a different path, sparking decades of espionage, mistrust, and sabotage between the two versions of humanity. Simmons absolutely nails his dual roles, playing one Howard as a timid everyman and the other as a hardened spy. Smart, stylish, and criminally underrated, Counterpart was the kind of high-concept show that deserved way more buzz than it got. Danger 5. Imagine a pulpy alt-history action show where World War II never ended, and also everything looks like a cheesy 60s spy serial. That's Danger 5, an Australian cult hit that's equal parts parody and fever dream. The setup: a squad of international agents is tasked with taking down Hitler over and over in increasingly absurd scenarios. It's campy, it's bizarre, and it's gloriously self-aware. While not your traditional alternate history, Danger 5 leans all the way into the what-if of pulp storytelling, proving that sometimes the wildest timelines are the funniest ones. Hunters. Hunters gave us a grim alternate history steeped in both pulp fiction and real trauma. Set in the 1970s, it followed a ragtag team of Nazi hunters in New York who uncover a conspiracy. Not only are escaped Nazis hiding in plain sight, but they're also working to create a Fourth Reich in Amerika. Starring Al Pacino and Logan Lerman, the show mixed grindhouse violence with weighty moral questions about justice, revenge, and how far is too far. It sparked controversy for blending real history with fictional conspiracies. So yes, Hunters was messy at times, but also undeniably ambitious. Noughts Crosses. Based on Mallory Blackman's best-selling novels, Noughts Crosses flips history on its head by imagining a world where Africa colonized Europe, not the other way around. The result is a deeply charged Romeo and Juliet-style story set in modern-day London, but with power and privilege reversed. At its heart, it's a love story between Sephi, a privileged cross, and Callum, an oppressed knot, but layered with biting social commentary about race, class, and systemic power. Slick, thought-provoking, and at times uncomfortably relevant, Noughts Crosses used alternate history to hold up a mirror to our world, showing how different things could look. An Englishman's Castle. This BBC miniseries is one of the earliest examples of alternate history on TV. An Englishman's Castle imagines a world where Nazi Germany won World War II and Britain became a puppet state under fascist rule. At the center is a television writer whose hit soap opera subtly reinforces the occupation's propaganda until he starts to question the world around him. The show is a slow-burn character study, and it hits even harder because of how normal everything seems. With its focus on complicity and denial, An Englishman's Castle is a chilling reminder that alternate history isn't just about spectacle, but about what ordinary people will accept as normal. Amerika. In the thick of Cold War anxieties, ABC went all in with Amerika, a sprawling miniseries imagining what the US would look like under Soviet occupation. The show depicted a dystopian America stripped of its freedoms, grappling with collaboration, resistance, and survival under communist control. It was ambitious, polarizing, and very of its time, leaning into paranoia about foreign takeover. While critics were divided and audiences weren't sure what to make of it, Amerika stands out as one of the boldest what-if experiments of the era, blending soap opera melodrama with high-stakes political fantasy. 1983. Netflix's first Polish original series, 1983, asked, "What if the Iron Curtain never fell?" In this alternate timeline, a terrorist attack in 1983 locks Poland into decades of authoritarian rule, creating a dystopian modern day where democracy never arrived. The story follows a law student and a jaded detective who stumble onto a conspiracy that could change the fate of the nation. Slow burn and heavy with noir vibes, 1983 was less about action and more about paranoia and what happens when history stalls. While it only lasted one season, it's an underrated entry in the alternate history canon. SSGB. Based on Len Deighton's novel, SSGB is a chilling take on the Nazis won World War II trope, but set specifically in occupied Britain. London in the 1940s looks familiar, except for the swastikas draped over government buildings and German troops patrolling the streets. The show follows a Scotland Yard detective forced to work under SS command, torn between solving crimes and quietly resisting the occupiers. It's moody and tense, blending murder mystery with the constant dread of authoritarian control. Though short-lived as a miniseries, SSGB stands out for showing how alternate history can take the familiar and twist it into something disturbingly uncanny. The plot against Amerika. This HBO series, based on Philip Roth's novel, imagines the 1940s America where aviation hero Charles Lindbergh defeats Franklin D. Roosevelt and ushers in a fascist-leaning government. The story unfolds through the eyes of a working-class Jewish family in New Jersey as anti-Semitism grows bolder and democracy begins to unravel. With its blend of intimate family drama and sweeping political allegory, the series hit uncomfortably close to home in today's climate, making its alternate history feel eerily possible. Anchored by powerhouse performances and sharp writing, The Plot Against Amerika isn't flashy, it's terrifying because it feels like history could have gone this way. For All Mankind. Apple TV Plus took one of history's greatest rivalries, the space race, and asked, what if the Soviets got to the moon first? That's the premise of For All Mankind, a series that rewrites NASA's story from the late 60s onward. Instead of fizzling out, the space race escalates, pushing humanity further and faster into space exploration. What follows is a mix of historical figures reimagined, fictional astronauts chasing glory, and a constant exploration of ambition versus sacrifice. With its mix of personal drama, speculative tech, and high-stakes missions, For All Mankind delivers one of the most compelling alternate histories on TV. Honorable mentions. Not every alternate history series made the main cut, but a few deserve a nod. The Black Adder took history and gleefully bent it for comedy, with Rowan Atkinson's scheming Edmund bumbling his way through reimagined versions of England's past. The miniseries World War III played out Cold War fears with a terrifyingly realistic look at what could have happened if the US and USSR went nuclear. Then there's HBO's Watchmen, which blended superhero storytelling with alternate US history, reimagining events like the Tulsa Massacre while diving into America's legacy of racism. And Crossbones gave us a pirate twist on history, casting John Malkovich as an alternate reality version of Blackbeard in a pulpy, revisionist take on the golden age of piracy. The Man in the High Castle. Perhaps the most famous alternate history TV series, The Man in the High Castle brings Philip K. Dick's chilling vision to life. In this timeline, the Axis powers won World War II, and America is divided between Nazi control in the east, Japanese rule in the west, and a neutral zone in between. The show explores the lives of ordinary people caught in this fractured world, while mysterious film reels suggest that other realities where the Allies won exist. Dark and often brutal, the series blended political intrigue with sci-fi twists, all while asking heavy questions about resistance and survival under tyranny. Even with a divisive final season, The Man in the High Castle remains a cornerstone of the genre. Did we nail the best alternate history TV shows, or is there a hidden gem we missed? Drop your picks in the comments. If you enjoyed this trip through TV's twisted timelines, check out tvshowpilot.com for even more show talk, and don't forget to subscribe to the TV Show Pilot YouTube channel for more videos like this.